people out there, it is a great comic book day. Let's see what I got. First up is The Walking Dead number 157, The Whisperer War, part 1 of 6. Negan, Rick Grimes' ultimate nemesis, has beheaded the alpha of the opposing group known as the Whisperers, and he's somewhat joined Rick's group, very hesitantly, and of course they're watching him very carefully as well. And you know this just is not going to end very well at all. Batman Beyond issue number 15. The title for this storyline was Wired for Death. This is part 4 of 4, although really it should be part 4 of 5 because there's still another part to this, but they're saving that for the Batman Beyond Rebirth. This storyline's main focus was to get rid of Tim Drake, who took up the mantle of Batman Beyond, and to give it back to Terry McGinnis. And that is definitely going to be happening very soon, probably in the next issue. I'm just hoping they don't kill off Tim Drake in this universe, and maybe they can keep him on as maybe a consultant, an Oracle type of character, or maybe a new superhero altogether. Maybe he can be called Redbird. Red Robin, I'm not a big fan of that name. I think Redbird would be much better. Batman issue number 4. It didn't take very long for the new superheroes of Gotham City, known as Gotham and Gotham Girl, to already fall down from a supervillain's attack. In this case, Dr. Hugo Strange and the Psycho Pirate played with their emotions, and they've already broken. It's gonna be interesting to see how Batman's gonna control him, or whether or not he's gonna be able to have to take Gotham down. The cover of this has a lot of symbolism to it, where he's falling from grace. Also, the Monster Men are coming, don't forget about that. They say that a lot in this story, and it's something that's gonna be played up very hugely in the next coming months. Next up, I got Aquaman issue number 4. Aquaman was taken into custody by the US government because supposedly there was an attack from Atlantis on a US carrier. This was a setup, and it doesn't look like relations are going to be going very well with Atlantis and the US. And Black Manta has his own storyline going on to the side. This is definitely going to come into play very soon. Daredevil annual issue number 1. This has 2 different storylines taking place. The first one is a self-contained story involving a character by the name of Echo. This character hasn't been around for some time, but it is cool to see some of these other obscure characters in the Marvel Universe come back into the light. The second story involves Melvin Potter, also known as Gladiator. You may remember this guy from the Daredevil Netflix series. He created Daredevil's costume. In the comic book world, he has a lot of different mental disorders. They did play this up somewhat in the TV show as well. This was also a self-containing story, but it is serving a purpose, showing that he is still around, and he's probably going to be a major player in the future comics. Green Lanterns issue number 4. Jessica Cruz has been affected by the Red Lanterns, being that they're now inhabiting Earth. So Simon has to knock her out of this rage, and this whole issue was just a bonding issue so that they can start to work together as a team. But it leaves on a very big note, being that the Red Lanterns are the big bad, and they have to find a way to beat them. Add in the fact that they're both newbies and they're alone, that's not going to be an easy fight. Justice League issue number 2. The alien threat, or the supposed alien threat, is increasing. The threat is called the Kindred, and they already know a lot about the Justice League. The problem is they don't have the heavy hitter of Superman on their team yet, so they have to bridge the gap, and Batman has to make some sort of effort to try to become friends with this Superman. But it wouldn't be the beginning of a new Justice League story if there wasn't some sort of alien threat to unite Earth's greatest heroes. Wait, that's the Avengers, never mind, but you know what I mean. Finally, I got Nightwing issue number 2. It feels like I just talked about Nightwing issue number 1 last week. Wait, I did do that, didn't I? Anyways though, Nightwing has to come to grips that he has a new partner that he's being forced to work with by the Parliament of Owls. His name is Raptor, and he has a much different philosophy than what Batman has. But there may be more to him. This whole issue is really coming to grips that Nightwing may have to use him, or at least have some trust in him, in order to try to take down the Owls. It's a great issue, and I'm really loving Nightwing and the direction they're taking it. This was probably my favorite comic out of all the comics that came out this week. If anything, just to read Nightwing's inner monologue. His thoughts are so much more lighthearted as compared to all the other Robins or other Bat characters out there. But that's my comic load for this week. There are a lot of other great titles out there that I really wish I could have gotten to, but I have to cut off a couple here and there. There's just too many titles that I'm really getting into. So that's it for now, but what's your comic load look like? Leave comments down below. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me in this video. Be sure to check out my Patreon site, my social media sites, and everything else out there. Peace, love, namaste, and I'll see you guys later. Peace. In the Batman Beyond comic, I think it would be really cool if Terry McGinnis' little brother would become a Robin. I was waiting for that to happen in the animated show. I think that would be an awesome idea for them to do that in the comic book.